Hey Leos, and welcome to your September 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading, entering into my second year of doing readings into this format. I started in September of 2016, and somehow, for some reason, I'm still here doing it, and I'm so happy to be here, and hoping that I give you Leos a very wonderful, resonating, and compounding reading, as I do feel the energy to be tricky this month, but actually very rewarding. Honestly, energetically, September for everyone is a little bit better than what we've had to deal with. We're finally getting out of this retrograde time period that we've been in. In July, Jupiter went direct, Mercury's gone direct, and Mars has gone direct here in August. And in September, we're having Pluto and Saturn, I believe it is, going direct. So we're really having weights lift from our shoulders. We're able to take a break from looking back so much and able to really move forward and make progress if we choose. And I feel that Leo is in the mid-range of this, maybe not really hurting from it, but also not really understanding where we're going or why we're here, what we're progressing towards, and September is giving that to you, I feel, Leo. It's very warm. Your energy is really beautiful. I'm really happy to see what I'm seeing for you all, because there's something so warm and something so incredible at your door. Are you going to answer it? Are you going to tend to it? Are you going to embrace it? Because you have a choice. I don't feel that there's an inevitable. I don't feel that something warm and great is inevitable this month, but it's at your door. You just have to go and open it, if that makes sense. There is so much power in Leo's hands in September. So much ability and so much potential to curb the opinions of others, to create a projection, to be what it is that you've wanted to be. And you sense that. I haven't felt this type of energy from Leo in a very long time. It is that really strong solar energy, and I may have felt it coming on because I've talked about, the power that you have recently, Leo. But in September, that is climaxing, and that is raising into something that you might not have seen in a very long time, and I really think that it's beautiful. New connections coming in. For those of you who are single, a potential to fall in love. But for all Leos, a potential to make new platonic friendships, grow old friendships, heal wounds of the past. Really, really wonderful. And I know that I'm saying like wonderful, positive things over and over again. But I mean, that doesn't mean that some of you aren't feeling the heaviness of what has transpired. You do have 9 of Swords in your reading. You do have 4 of Wands reversed. You do have 2 of Wands reversed. It's all encapsulated by a wonderful 3 of Cups, so it's like you're sort of toasting away the pain or cheersing the pain away, like praying it away, I sense, Leo. Like there's a humor and there's a warmth in reaction to any type of really negative, heavy structure which has taken hold. And that's the need this month, is to really face any type of adversity with humor or with an agreement or a smile, because just like that, it can really vanish or turn into something that actually benefits you or helps you. There is a need in September for Leo to structure in general, to create a template, to find a routine, to find their health in a new way. You might have seen over the summer that things aren't feeling right, whether that be, your physical health or just the way you're going about your day. Something's heavy, something's draining you. That's being resolved in this month as well. So definitely try to meet that halfway. Definitely try to meet the universe when it introduces new systems, new structures. Someone invites you out. Somebody asks you to do something different. I would say try that. Trying new things can be really rewarding here, as long as you're not, betraying someone's loyalty, or as long as you're not, stopping what you've been needing to do for a long time. It feels like Leo has more energy to do more with other people right now, no doubt. It's also a good time for you to brag. That sounds a little bit strange, and don't go crazy with it, because Leo can be a bit of a bragging sign as it is. But I do think that your ego or your sense of pride has been a bit compounded and absent lately, which is sometimes okay. But Leo, you really do develop a lot of your energy based on your pride, based on the way that your ego asserts itself, not the formation of the ego itself, but the way that it works itself into your life. That's where Leo gains a lot of its energy. So I sense that a lot of you have accomplishments. Like, I really urge you, like right now in this moment, to think about what you've accomplished and to sort of see how you're not even giving yourself credit for that. I sense that to be a big thing in Leo right now. You're really really upset about not having moved further with something while not understanding the significance of what you have already achieved. So it might be time to, talk to people about your successes. It might be time to say, yeah, I have this business now and I really don't have to worry about a living. It could be more. There's more that I want that I don't have, but things are covered. And then for some of you, it's like, I did have that difficult breakup, but now I have complete independence over my life. And that's something that I didn't realize that I needed as much as I did. So really take a moment to find the blessings this month, Leo, and to communicate those to other people. This isn't a matter of just you feeling superior or feeling like you need to show how you're better than others. In fact, what it actually does is it karmically cleanses them to see an example of people who can find a happiness or a contentment through an adversity or through something that was unexpected. So be sure to play up the blessings that you've received on account of certain traumas, because I think that we all know that those are there for you now, Leo. It's not been the easiest last few years for anybody, really, but Leo has been a sign with those eclipses that happened last year and, some of the other placements that has felt drained and taken from with the types of energies that have been around it. And we know that. I feel that most people realize that things haven't been quite fair for you or haven't quite gone the way that they have. And I feel that you empower others and yourself so remarkably by finding treasures in devastated places or experiences. So to see Leo perhaps come out of a very tumultuous breakup while having found some type of incredible form of independence or treasure among that is to really give all the people around you some type of confidence that they didn't know that they had either. And the types of karmic blessings and gifts for the future that gives Leo is really incredible to see. So I really urge Leo to find the positive of where they've been. And this isn't even a matter of just being like glass half full, optimism is like the best thing. It's not that. It's a matter of counteracting something that felt very bleak and very just isolated and remote, and finding something really important and incredible in that, wearing that and displaying that, and really providing others that within their own desolate or isolated experiences. That's the best that I can articulate it. And it's really something that you'll get a beautiful sense of growth from. And for you to experience that right now really propels your plans and goals into a place that you might not have expected them to come to as quickly as they have. So anyway, Leos, having said all of that, I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week for September and see more specifically what's coming up. So in week number 1, you have the Ten of Pentacles rooted down by Queen of Wands. Absolutely probably the best week of your month. Most opportunities are there. Really reward yourself. Really allow yourself to express the wealth that you have found, and whether that's emotional wealth, monetary wealth, or wealth of connections, it's okay to display that here in the first week of September, or to plan something which can display that. Even if you're trying to save right now and you don't want to be spendthrift, find some way that encapsulates how much you've gained and really shows that off, because it's so much deeper than looking the part or being that sort of glamorous leonine figure. There's something about you shining in the experiences of other people that gives you more karma in the future because you inspire or reassure them. And I don't want to play to your ego like insanely or over the top, because I think telling that to someone with a certain type of personality could really provoke the wrong type of expression. But I think that you're going to know what I'm talking about. This actually isn't even about Leo or about you particularly. It becomes about you later. It's not about how making others feel good based on how great you are, what that does for you. It's about actually something quite selfless that is developed through self-aesthetic and self-expression. Is that kind of an oxymoron? It is kind of, but it's something that really pushes you higher. So you're working on yourself, you're working on your appearance, you're working on what is around you and how to express your internal structures in that way. And that actually becomes less about you and how other people absorb it, and it lifts them up and it lifts you up, and everything that's around you just kind of blooms. Really beautiful, Leo. And the first week is the time where that will really give you the most, I think. It's also going to be a good time to save. It's going to be a good time to see how much you have accumulated, How is your family feeling? Do you need to give some attention to your family? The Ten of Pentacles can sometimes be a traditional familial energy. I do sense you may be innovating what is traditional to you and traditional to your family. So maybe you're the head of your family now and you're changing up some of the traditions that are there. That could be very supported. There's a stylizing and like a dusting off of something old and structured, which is such an innate part of your journey right now. And so for those of you who are like archaeologists, or for those of you who are historians or uncover things to be played up into a new way or added to a new type of roster, this is incredible. I would really recommend that all Leos do that in some way. Take something that's a really old family heirloom and reframe it, or like clean it off, or something that is old needs to be replated or restructured into something which fits the identity of who you are now. And what that's basically doing is that's signaling your subconscious mind to do the same thing. So like, just as an example, you take like a really old family heirloom, like a ring or something, and it's like tarnished or something, and you go in and you like replace the band or have this replaced, or you have like to bring it up into the current millennia, I guess, you have like an old phone with like all these pictures on it that's broken, like the screen is shattered, and there's a lot of stuff on there that you would like to have. You have that repaired and you take the pictures off and you put it onto your new phone. That type of thing is signaling the subconscious mind, with all of its own tarnished or broken things which are inaccessible, to pull those back up into the conscious and decide whether they need to be released or whether they need to be brought into the present. Because I do feel that a lot of the devastation which has happened into the Leo experience recently deals with a weight in the subconscious that is out of sight, out of mind for Leo, and is pulling down and taxing the energy of Leo, so that it cannot shine in the way that it needs to. So introducing these types of random stimulus into your life of repairing old things or restylizing old things will have a simultaneous experience within you. That's very complicated. I know I'm kind of going on and on about it. But first week, beautiful Leos, really, really probably one of the best weeks of your year. Think about what you can do to make yourself healthier one way or another, and to make yourself less taxed and less weighed down. In week number 2, you have Queen of Swords reversed, rooted down by Justice reversed. So you might see that as these things start to come up to the top of your mind, there is a sense of, how was this fair? How did this happen and why did this happen? I do sense that Leo has a question mark with that, really trying to weigh things out, really trying to logically determine what's happened, and to no avail. That's something that's been happening to you for a long time and probably has led you to push all these things down and to push repress or suppress certain things in your life which have happened. They're coming back up and you're still not quite sure what to do with them. But I think that it's really important to remember, Leo, that it's not always about clarity in how to, what do I want to say, how to delegate or file back these old experiences or old things which have happened to you. It's not about clarifying that. It's about acknowledging them and letting them be, okay? So if there's too much of a tendency to really sift through everything, clarify everything, and understand how to change it, that could be what's leading all of this to get really trapped. Maybe it's better to, recognize it for what it is, and if I could say, just let it kind of exhale out of the body. So you breathe in and then you exhale, and it's sort of gone. It's not changed. It still happened, whatever this is in the past, because I may not be being specific enough, but there's something in the past, something in the subconscious that is keeping Leo back, and that's coming up this month through an incredible expression of you. So you've got to express it and let it go, let it be, and be done, I think. Because the second week is not a great time for needing to know why everything happened. Maybe you want some type of closure. Maybe you really want to move on, but you feel that you need closure first. I wouldn't count on closure too much during that time, unless you can give it to yourself. But, relying on that from other people may not get you too far then. Something that will get you far then, though, is to balance out your own routine, your own schedule, things that you can control. And that's something that I like to say, because there's a sense of like not being in control in that week and, struggling with that. So start to control the things that you actually can, Leo. The routine feels like it might need work. what's going into your body feels like it might need work and delegation. And I think that through proving to yourself that you can do that, the other things will start to fall into place as well. So week number 3, you have 2 of Wands reversed, rooted down by 4 of Wands reversed. So we're changing direction there. Something, you had a plan by like this time of the year to be doing something else, and you realize, okay, nope, not quite what I planned on. I've got to shift the path a little bit here. Big shift in path is a possibility in the 3rd week of September. You thought you had the world in your hands. You thought you were going to be celebrating in that new place or that new job, and you think, whoa, nope, that's not going to work. And I think that you are validated in doing that, and it might be important to shift it a bit. So what's needed to change direction, what's needed to change path. You have more power than you know. This is sort of where I was getting that idea in the beginning, that you have like all this power in your hands, but for some reason you're taking that away from yourself. Maybe some of you are really trying to save up for something else, like monetarily. You're like, okay, I want to go back to school, or I want to capitalize my business, and I need to stay in this situation because I know that I'll eventually get there. I don't want to make a huge change and spend what I've saved during this time. It's going to be okay, though. In fact, there's this interesting message that you'll spend just as much in your current situation as you would changing it. So you might as well change a situation if you need to here and now. If it's something, as long as it's not something that's like an escapist mentality, and that's going to be important to discern. I don't think that where you currently are leads you to many celebrations, though. 4 of Wands reversed. You might have thought this to be something that gives you more than it does. I do think that other situations for a lot of Leos can give them a lot more, but that's not going to be right for everybody. You know, check out your sun, moon, rising sign and make sure that, again, those types of messages are not feeding into any type of escapist mentality. But I do feel all Leos are supported in making a different decision during that time for sure. And week number 4, you have 9 of Swords rooted down by 2 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, you're like, what decision do I make? It's an indecisive energy, and that's present, you know, starting in that 2nd week. For the latter 3 weeks of September, there is an indecision. Because unlike a lot of other signs, I don't think that you have to make a choice right this second, Leo. And even if there are a lot of choices cropping up, you might see how it's really easy to linger with them or to make them into a sense of purgatory. And I think that you are really stressing yourself out more than you think that you need to do. Let me tell you what you need to do, Leo, from my perspective. What you really need to do is enter into an environment where your self-expression can heal others. If you're currently in an environment where what you're expressing as yourself is not satisfactory for others, or others are kind of asking you to be a little bit different, or being off-put by what's naturally you, that's not right. But if you are in an environment where you do feel you have free creative self-expression, and you do feel that, you know, even if you're in a job where because it's not about just being perfectly happy at 100% of the time. That's not really life, but you're going to know what I'm talking about in the sense that there has to be some portion of your life where you have free projection and creativity and expression. If that's not here on this path, I recommend shifting that path. If that's here and it's building, I recommend staying on that path, but always take it from the point of view of how you radiate out to other people and how other people kind of orbit around you because you're the sun. If you're burning out or if you're pushing out energy and it's not right for other people and they're trying to change you and change what you're giving to them, that's not going to work, you know, because you can't really change it. That's the thing about Leo. It's a fixed sign. It's the sun. The sun can't really change how it empowers, how it expresses, right? Until it burns out and dies. That's the only time that it starts to change. So remember that, Leo, when people are asking you to change or people are asking you to change for them, don't mix this up with like self-transformation. It's a little bit of a different thing. But Leo can only really change during the death phase. So you might have already been there, might have already had that, but I don't feel that to be that period of time for you right now. So go towards where you can project and express in the benevolent way that you need to, because you see that this entire whole month revolves around the archetype of 3 of Cups, which is benevolence, auspicious connections, networking, and agreement and satisfaction, and healthy connection with others. New platonic friends are coming in, Leo, who can probably help you. You have more of a support network, I think, than you realize if you do need to make a change. So do remember that. And remember that decisions are easier than you're making them out to be right now. I feel bad for the Leos with Libra in their charts, but because there's a tendency towards indecision this month for sure. But it's easier than you're giving it credit for. And remember to go to it from a place of self-expression. Can I express here? Do these people appreciate my expression? If so, I stay. If not, I need to go after analyzing and making sure that it's not an escapist fantasy. Anyway, Leo, good luck this month. It really is beautiful and empowering. I really had to dig into it to see like what's going wrong, potentially. But I am wishing you so much luck because this month really does transition you into something much better, I think. But if you haven't had the opportunity yet to subscribe to my channel, I would so appreciate that. Your likes and comments make my day. I would so appreciate it also if you could follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's in the description box. I enjoy using Twitter because I can update things much more frequently and really quickly be in touch with people. So be sure to follow me there. And I will be speaking to you guys in October. The center of the screen should have a place for private readings and my Patreon page. Much love, and we'll be talking soon. Bye.